स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
जय।
श्यामवेद भक्त वृंद की जय।
जय।
गौर प्रेमानंदे।
हरि बोल।
All glories to assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga.
Hare Bol.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasa Tato Jaya Mudiraye Dashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtuki. So today is the turn of Prannath Prabhu, but Prannath Prabhu is not here. He called me and he told me that if I can give class, so I accepted it and I'm giving class again today. So today's verses are text number 2, Canto 3, chapter 17, entitled The Victory of Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksh, and the text is from text number 2 to text number 15. So there are 14 shlokas. So what I will do, we will read them first all the shlokas and then we will go discuss one by one. So the second number shloka, actually, the first shloka which we are going to read has no purport, but still we will recite it and then we will go ahead. So let me read it 3 times and then you can please recite after me. Nisamyatma bhuva gitam. Sorry, text number 2. Ditistu bhurtur adeshad apatya parishankini purne varsha sate sadvi putro prasushuve yamo. Ditistu bhurtur adeshad apatya parishankini purne varsha sate sadvi putro prasushuve yamo. Ditistu bhurtur adeshad apatya parishankini purne varsha sate sadvi putro prasu suveyamo. Please recite.
Hare Krishna. Ditistu bhartur adeshad apatta parishankini purne varsha sate sadhi putto prasu shubhe yamau. Hare Krishna.
Ditistu Bhartur Adeshad Apatya Parishankini Purne Varsha Sate Swadvi Putra Prasushuve Yamu.
Hare Krishna. Ditistu Bhartu Adesad Upachya Parishankine Purnisvarsha Sati Sadvi Putro Prasu Suveyamo.
Anyone else? So let us read word to word translation. Ditihi, diti, tu, but, bhartu, bhartuhu, of her husband, adeshat, by the order, apatya, from her children, parishankini, being apprehensive of trouble, purne, full, varshaste, after 100 years, sadhvi, the virtuous lady, putro, 2 sons, prasusuve, begot, yamo, twins. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. The virtuous lady Diti had been very apprehensive of trouble to the gods from the children in her womb, and her husband predicted the same. She bore 4 twin sons after a full 100 years of pregnancy.
Wow.
So what I will read, I will read all shlokas and then we will explain one by one. So next shloka. Utpata bhavastatra nipeturjayamanayoho diti bhuvi antarikshe cha lokashura bhayavaha. On the birth of the two demons, there were many natural disturbances, all very fearful and wonderful in the heavenly planets, the earthly planets, and in between them. Text number 4. Sahachala bhuvaschelu dishah sarva prajajwalaluhu solkasa chashayana petu kata katavascharti hevatah. There are earthquakes along the mountains on the earth, and it appeared that there was fire everywhere. Many inauspicious planets like Saturn appeared, along with comet, meteors, and thunderbolts. Purport: when natural disturbances occur on a planet, one should understand that a demon must have taken birth there. In the present age, the number of the demonic people is increasing. Therefore, natural disturbances are also everywhere. They are increasing. There is no doubt about this. And we can understand from the statement of Srimad Bhagavatam. Text number 5. Vayo sudhush parsha phutkarana irayanmuhu unmulayan nagapati patina.
I figured you would have.
Vatyaniko rajodhvaja. When there blew winds which were most uninviting to touch, hissing again and again, and uprooting gigantic trees. They had storms of their armies and
No.
clouds of dust
I was offering my bagel.
for their ensign. Mataji, please mute. When there are natural disturbances like blowing cyclones, too much heat, or snowfall, and uprooting the trees by the hurricane, it is understood that the demoniac population is increasing, and so the natural disturbances are also taking place. There are many countries on the globe, even at the present moment, where all the disturbances are current. This is true all over the world. There is insufficient sunshine, and there are always clouds in the sky, snowfall, and severe cold. These assure that such places are inhabited by demoniac people who are accustomed to all kind of forbidden, sinful activities. Text number 6. Uddasa tadid ambodha gataya nashta bhagane yo yomni pratishta tamasa na ismas vyadrashaye drashate padam. The luminaries in the heaven were screened by the masses of clouds in which lightning sometimes flashed as though laughing. Darkness regained everywhere and nothing could be seen. Text number 7. Chukrosha vimanavadira udurmi shubitodaraha sodapanascha saritash Chukshubuhu Shushka Pankaja. The ocean with its high waves wailed aloud as it is stricken with sorrow. And there was a commotion among the creatures inhabiting the ocean. The river and the lakes were also agitated, and the lotus weather. Text number 8. Muhu paridhayo bhuvan saravo Shashisuryo Nirghatarat Nirhradda Vivarebhya Prajazire. The misty halos appeared around the sun and the moon during solar and lunar eclipses again and again. Claps of the thunder were heard even without cloud, and sounds like those of rattling chariots emerged from the mountain caves. Text number 9. Antaragrameshu mukhato vamantyo vahanim ulvanam Shragalodukhankare Pranedura Ashivam Shivaha. In the interior of the village, sea jackals yelled pertinaciously, vomiting strong fire from their mouths, and jackals and owls also joined them with their cries. Text number 10. Sangeetavad rodanvad amya shirodhara anya अमय्य शिरोधराम व्यमुंचन विविधा वाचो ग्राम सिंहास ततस्ततः. Rising their necks, dogs cried here and there, now in the manner of singing and now of wailing. Text number 11. खारास च कर्कशे क्षत्रः खुरैर्गरन्तो धरातलम् खार्कार रभसा मत्ताः पर्यधावन् वरूथशः. O Vidur, the asses ran hither and thither in herds, striking the earth and their herd hoofs in widely braying purport. Asses also feel very respectable as a race. And when they run in flocks, hither and thither in so-called jollity, it is understood to be a bad sign for the human society. Text number 12. Rodanto रासभ्रत्रस्ता निदाद उत्पतन खगः घोषेरण्ये च पश्यवः शक्रन् मूत्रम् अकुर्वत. Frightened by the braying of the asses, birds flew, shrieking from their nets, while cattle in the cowshed as well as in the woods passed dung and urine. Text number 13. Gavotra san ashragdohas to yada puya varshinaha vyarudan devalingani drumaha petur vina nilam. Cows, terrified, yielded blood in place of milk. Clouds rained pus. The images of the gods in the temple shed tears, and the trees fell down without a blast of wind. So, two more shlokas. Grahana punyataman anne bhaganaschapi dipita atechera vakragatya yuduscha parasparam. Omniscious planets such as Mars and Saturn shone brighter and surpassed the auspicious ones such as Mercury, Jupiter, and Venus, as well as a number of lunar mansions. Taking seemingly retrograde course, the planets came in conflict with one another. The entire universe is moving under the three modes of material nature. Those living entities who are in goodness are called the pious species, pious land, pious trees, etc. In the similar with the planets also, many planets are considered pious and others are considered impious. Saturn and Mars are considered impious. When the pious planets shine, when the pious planets shine very brightly, it is an auspicious sign. But when the inauspicious planets shine very brightly, this is not a very good sign. Last shloka. दृष्टवान्यांश च महोत्पातान् अतत तत्त्वविदः प्रजा ब्रह्मपुत्रा नृते भीता मे निरे विश्व सम्प्लवम्. Making these and many other omens of evil times, everyone but the four sages, son of Brahma, the four Kumaras, who were aware of the fall of Jain Vijay and of their birth as deity's son, were seized with fear. They didn't know the secrets of these potents and thought that the dissolution of the universe was at hand. According to Bhagavad Gita, seventh chapter, the laws of nature are so stringent that it is impossible for the living entity to surpass their enforcement. It is also explained that only those who are fully surrendered to Krishna in Krishna consciousness can be saved. We can learn from the description of Srimad Bhagavatam that it is because of the birth of the two great demons that there were so many natural disturbances. It is to be indirectly understood, as previously described, that when there are constant disturbances on the earth, that is an omen that some demoniac people have been born, or the demoniac population has increased. In former days, when there were only two demons, those born of Diti, yet there were so many disturbances. At the present day, especially in this Yuga, the age of Kali, these disturbances are always visible, which indicates that the demonic population has certainly increased. To check the increase of demonic population, the Vedic civilization enacted so many rules and regulations of the social life, and most important of which is Garbhadan process for begetting good children. In Bhagavad Gita, Arjun informed Krishna that if there is unwanted population, Varna Shankar, the entire world will appear to be hell. People are very anxious for peace in the world, but there are so many unwanted children born without the benefit of Garbhadan ceremony. Just like the demon born from Diti. Diti was so lusty that she forced her husband to copulate at a time which was inauspicious. And therefore, the demons were born to create disturbances. In having sex life to beget children, one should observe the process of begetting nice children. If each and every householder in every family observes the Vedic system, then there are nice children, not demons, and automatically there is peace in the world. If we do not follow regulations in life for social tranquility, we cannot expect peace. Rather, we will have to undergo the stringent reactions of neutral laws. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने. नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे. So what we are reading are the different omens, and they were seen everywhere, all upper planets also, like up to Swargalok, everywhere you can see all these were causing havoc in the society, and everyone was scared. Everybody was so fearful. Yesterday also we read about the fear, how all the population was fearful of these all thunderstorms and earthquakes and rain. So all these things, all cloudy, gloomy, everywhere, people cannot see. So we read all these in these shlokas today. So everyone were unaware that what is going to happen or why these signs are coming. That's why all the demigods went to Brahmaji, and then Brahmaji said that this is the Lord's plan. So don't worry, everything will be all right. But on the Earth planet, no one knew what is going on. So, except those four Kumaras, actually, they knew that the two sons, Jai and Vijay, will be coming as the son of Diti, and they will be demons. So they knew that. Other than that, nobody knew actually. And many people thought, like Prabhupada is putting here in words, that they thought that this is the dissolution of the earthly planet, because this happens, all the rain and everything comes like that when the earth going to finish, when Brahmaji's one day finishes, then partial annihilation. And when Brahmaji's 100 years finishes, then it's a complete annihilation. So people were thinking that this may be the day of annihilation. So that's why they were so fearful. So there are so many reasons. Actually, there was scientific study also that they found out so many reasons psychologically and other ones. So the biggest reason, what we read in the Srimad Bhagavatam, that is the fear of death. Like it was asked by Yaksha, to Arjuna, to Yudhishthira Maharaj, that what is the greatest surprise, and he said that people passing away here and there, but people don't think that one day he is going to die. So this is the death. Everybody is scared of death actually. Oh my God, I got heart attack. I have this problem. I may get cancer, So people are worried about so many things. And also then there is fear of burial, that I have to be buried, like people, who who have burial ceremony. So they get buried in a box, they have to be in the box. Vedically, in Vedic ceremony, the sanskar at the death, is they get burned, they are cremated. So they are worried about cremation also, because when they put in the fire, my God, my whole body will be burned in 5-10 minutes, like that. So they are so scared of that. Second thing, people are worried about the public speaking. 75% of population, they found that they are scared of saying in the public something, so many people actually think, that they cannot speak publicly. So anybody else can volunteer for what other fears are in the world?
The fear of heights. When you go up high somewhere, you
Yes.
have this feeling like you're going to fall off.
Right. Fear of height is there. And next, they found out number 4 is going to a dentist. So that's a little surprising, because people sit down on the chair and they say nothing will happen. Sit down, they will bring the big needle, put in the mouth. People are so scared, and then they bring the drill, and so that's also big fear there. And then people worry about the snake. People are scared of snakes, because I went to D-Land House, Bhakti Charu Maharaj project in D-Land, and there the president told me, that in the morning when you come to Mangal Aarti, you have a stick in hand, and there are so many snakes. He told me, I was scared to go to Mangal Aarti, but he said that you go and hit, tuck, 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 and walk only, not on the grass, but walk on the paved surface, So I was walking there, and as soon as I reached in the temple, I felt so much relief, So that's fear of snake. And then fear of flying. Many people are scared and flying, because they think, oh my God, if the plane crashes, I'm gone. So that's also another fear. Some people are scared with the spiders, ants, with the rats, cockroaches. There's so many things, people are scared. And sometimes we have see the big lightning, thunder. People are scared of that also. And many times we are scared of rejection. Somebody rejects us, like the boss, says, you are done, your job is no good. So done with you, no more work here. So people are really scared of that. And sometimes we fear about the failures. So we get so many failures in the life sometimes, but people are worried about that. We should not fear, because failure comes, in the life, and it gives you the opportunity to have the right thing. So sometimes failure is good, but people so much scared. And the one fear is everybody have the fear of unknown. What's going to happen to us? So fear of unknown is also people are worried that, oh, this may happen, I'm getting this thing, little blood, streak of blood, that may come from the coughing, but they may think, oh my God, I may have cancer in the stomach or lungs or something. So they are so much worried, that's unknown actually. And also fear of isolation. People don't want to sit in all closed walls, there is no window, nothing, and like we sometimes put a child, who is not behaving properly, we time him out, so what happens? He cries, because he thinks, that nobody will take me out. And then, so isolation, they don't like that way. People are scared of that. And loss of control, when you are driving the car and your brake is failing, how, or any loss of control, we have got so much scared. And fear of intimacy. Some people cannot be too intimate, and fear of change in the life. There are so many things, changes in the life. So some people cannot take the changes that good. And other fear, people say fear of pain or suffering. Because like in the old age, so many pains, aches, so much suffering goes on, and people are so much scared that. And also get disease, we will get so much pain, or we may fall and break our bone, and we can be scared with that. So these are the different kind of fears. So now we will go to read what Prabhupada is writing here. The virtuous lady Diti has been very apprehensive of trouble of the god from the children in her womb. So she was worried that this, because her husband also told, that these children will be really bad children. They will not be good children. So she was really worried that all the demigods and all the population in general will be suffering because of my mistake. Because in her womb there were demons actually, and her husband also predicted that. So she brought forth twin sons. So she kept those sons for 100 years in her womb. Can you imagine? That's a long time. But she kept it here because she wanted as much delay she can do. And you can imagine keeping those big giant demons for 100 years in her womb. It's not an easy task, but she did it. She tried hard. So when they were born, on the birth of the two demons, there were many natural disturbances, which we are going to read soon. And all were very fearful and wonderful in the heavenly planets, the earth planet, and in between them. So everywhere there were all the disturbances. So everything actually with the disturbances, everyone was infused with fear. So the next verse says there were earthquakes along the mountains on the earth. So there were earthquakes on the mountains, and appeared that there are fire everywhere. And in inauspicious planets like Saturn appeared along the comet. So what is comet? Comet is like a celestial object. It has a nuclear of, and which is made of ice and the dust. So when they go near the sun, what happens? They look like, there is a tail of gas, and there are dust particles pointing away from the sun. So they point away from the sun. So there are some light. If you see the streaks of light, they are the comets near the sun, all around the sun. Many inauspicious planets, like there were earthquakes along the mountain, and many inauspicious planets like Saturn appeared along with meteors and thunderbolts. So what are the meteors? Meteors are like, they look like shooting stars. They just shoot like the small stars. So they are bright streak of light actually, and you see in this like when the rocks, which is known as meteoroid, they enters the Earth atmosphere and they burn up due to the friction. So they actually get vaporized and then they glow in the sky. So those are the meteors. So that we see, and we also see so much thunder all around. So next look. So all these omens actually were coming because of one lady, Diti, made mistake, that she united with her husband. She became so much lusty that she wanted to unite with her husband at very inauspicious time. Her husband was Kashyap Muni. So Diti went to Kashyap and requested him to unite with her. She said that my all sisters have the children, sons and daughters. I don't have any, so please give me the children. So at least I have a child. So that's where she went, and her husband Kashyap Muni, he was elevated soul. He told her that this is not auspicious time, but still she requested him, and she just wanted, and it was evening time, very inauspicious time. Her husband told, but her husband also had some weakness, so he got trapped into it, and he listened to her, and because of this mistake, they two gigantic demons, appeared, were born from her own. Yes. So actually, in this Quran, that's why Prabhupada wrote so many places, in his books, that we should actually follow the Garbhadhan Sanskar, because Garbhadhan Sanskar is very important to follow, because in this material world we see so many families, so many people, fathers, mothers, children, we see all these, and the kids also we see many kids, they are so much misbehaving, don't listen to anybody, and they sometime father put them in school, they don't study at all, they don't do their homework, they don't listen to their parents. So actually those parents, they are really burden to the parents. Parents don't want to actually bring them up, but what can be done actually? Some of the parents actually we see that they are ready to pay big price. They want to give any money to nanny who can take care of them. They don't want to take care of them. So the nanny can actually look on them. And many of the children actually we see in many of the parents actually hate their children also. Because when I was working in emergency room, I will see many times the parents will bring or police will bring the little children, small ones, and they have got burned or they have blisters on their whole body. Sometimes parents get so angry, the child is crying, and they put him in the hot water. They put the shower in a really boiling water like that, so they have all the red skin and blisters on the body. So sometimes you can get burned by the cigarette. So this all goes on because parents, those children are unwanted children. So that's why they get this kind of punishment. So that's why parents don't like them. Nobody likes them in the society, this kind of children. Like with me also, there was a student, a doctor in medical school. He was admitted because his father has a lot of money and everything, and somehow the other, he got admitted to school. But he won't go out of that because he liked that, enjoying there, not studying. So medical school was 5 years. He was there after 10 years also. So then dean of the college was worried about him. And he sent some residents and told them that, okay, go and give him these questions, that this will be asked in the examination tomorrow. You answer properly and then you will be passed, and get out of the school, so something like that. So dean sent those, and he told the residents, what is the answer, you tell me. So he asked the answer also from them. And then in the morning, he was passed. But this kind of people, but so sometimes people are in the college for a long time. So I was hearing one class where Prabhuji was telling that they went to IIT college, and after results, they were moving all around without, like, they were very happy, they knew that they are going to fail. So one student, who came first, he asked, why you are celebrating like that? What is big news? Why you are not studying? Why you didn't pass? So he said that our job is to get admitted in the college. And it's the college's job to get us out of the college. So they can stay there 10 years, 15 years, doesn't matter for them actually. So this kind of kid nobody wants. So especially we see in the civilized country that mother has no time for the kids. The husband works, wife works. So this, and the children are born with the bad karmas, and auspicious time and everything. And they have those children with, conceive them, those children with the lusty mentality. So when they have lusty mentality, then children will not be good at all. So as a devotee, actually, we should be very, very careful that what kind of children we need. So that's why Prabhupada emphasized so much about the Garbhadan Sanskar. Otherwise, what will happen? We will just in a spacious time, if we unite with the wife, what is happening? Just for the pleasure of 2-3 minutes, what happens? We will have burden on our head for all our life to take care of that bad kid, and we don't want that. So it's better to follow the Garbhatan Sanskar and then have child. We can see the examples in the Mahabharata also, that Mother Kunti, actually, in the Pandu, they observe celibacy for still 1 full year. And they did the devotional service to Lord Krishna. So as a result, they got son like Arjuna, who was Krishna's Sakha. Whole Srimad Bhagavad Gita was spoken to him, for all the population. So, and then Arjuna got very famous, and he actually glorified all his ancestors. So we can imagine how, if we have good child, then everything in the whole family, like Prahlad Maharaj, the 14 generations were liberated. So that's a great thing. Another example we can see from like Vaman Dev, and we read that Mother Aditi, she performed Payavrat, drinking milk for 12 days. So she was doing that also, and she was serving the devotee during that time, and that's why her husband was also Kashyap Muni, Diti and Aditi. So from Diti, all the devatas came. Aditi, all the devatas came, and from Diti, the demons came. So Kashyap Muni also performed all the austerity with the with the Aditi, and that's why they got Vamandev as their child, who was the incarnation of God. He was God himself. So God himself came as their child. So these are the benefits, of following proper rules and regulations given in our literature. We can see the Devaki and Vasudev also performed so many austerities. So Lord came 3 times in her womb. Like in the beginning, they were Sutapa and Prashnigarba. Sutapa and Prashni. So Prashnigarba came first time, and second time they came as Aditi and Chap. And then Lord Upendra or the Vamandev came, and the third time in the Dwapar Yuga, Krishna became like as a Krishna, Devaki and Vasudeva. So we can see all this happen because of the austerity and following the proper rules and regulations. But here we are seeing the Diti is so lusty that she forced her husband to do the sex with her at improper time and without observing any kind of austerities. So that's why this thing happens. And that's, as a result, what they got, the child like Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. So observing these regulations are very, very important before getting a child. So if we are in the mode of patient, because we all are in different modes, all the people are in different modes. So in Bhagavad Gita, we read that in the mode of patient, what happens? In the beginning, the things looks like nectar, like honey, but at the end, it becomes poison. So, but if we are in the mode of goodness, then in the beginning, the thing may look like poison, like Diti, she could have tried to control her craving for having sex, but she did not. She wanted instant sense of gratification. And that's why the children will come like Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. So she could have done that. So when we are in mode of goodness, in the beginning the thing may like poison, but later on it ends in a nectar. So this thing, so when intelligent person is there, he thinks of eternity, not for what is the sense enjoyment for a few minutes. There's nothing actually. So we should think about, use our intelligence and see if that thing is good for me or not. So the process of Garbhadan Sanskar, what do to the mother, what they do, they in the breakfast. So the day before, when the day of Garbhadan Sanskar comes, one day before, what they should do the charity to the Vaishnavas in the temple, like that. And they should start thinking good that, okay, we want to conceive tomorrow, the child. So the mother should eat very light breakfast of fruit and milk. And on that day, whole day they chant, they meditate on Krishna. At least the minimum is 50 rounds. Husband and wife both chants 50 rounds. That. And Prabhuji, her husband actually, he takes very nice prasadam of grain. And he also chants 50 rounds, not just the mother, but mother and father both chant. And they have to distribute charity one day before. And prasadam also to the Brahmanas and Vaishnavas. And so this thing that, and at lunchtime, they continue chanting whole day. Lunchtime, mother also eats another prasadam, which is milk and fruit. And her husband, nice grainy food. He eats and continue chanting. So this way, and also they have to find out the proper time to unite astrologically also, and see, it is proper time. Also, physically, she's ovulating at that time. So medically, we think, this is on 11th, 10th day of the cycle, 12th to 14th day of the cycles. So we have to see that there are proper timing is there for Garbhadan. Otherwise, she won't get pregnancy like that. She cannot conceive. So we have to see proper timing also, that the mother is ready for that. Like she's ovulating, then only she can conceive. So for this reason, the animals are much better than human beings. I read in the book that if you send a bull to the cow, and if the cow is not ovulating, the bull will come to her and she will smell something and walk away. He won't even touch the cow because he knows that this is not proper time. But human being, they will not see any timing. Anytime they are ready. Daytime, nighttime, evening time, morning time, So this is the people want sense pleasure, and that's why this whole society are suffering, because they are all Varna Shankars. So that's why Arjuna said that if the Varna Shankar comes, whole society will be spoiled. So we have to see what is the importance of Garbhadan Sanskar. We can have very good society, and then the children born will be all Vaishnavas. Nowadays, so many souls, like devotees die or the devatas die, they want to come here in the Earth planet. They have to come again because they didn't finish their bhakti. So they are looking for a home which is pure, the devotee mother, father, but they don't get it. They are in the queue, big line in the sky, in the clouds, that sometime some mother comes, and performs these proper ceremonies and everything, then I can go in that room. So there is a big queue, and we have to see. That's why having children is not a bad thing. Marrying is not a bad thing, but we have to see that we get a nice devotee conception, not like a demoniac person, and that will happen only when we follow these Vedic rules and regulations, and that is not happening in this material world. So that's why ISKCON is teaching that to everybody, that how to follow these rules and regulations which are given in our Shastras. And if we follow properly, then whole society will be very happy. They will be devotees, they will be Vaishnavas, and whole picture of the earth can change. Like it happens in Satyuga, that all the kings were so pious kings, and they were ruling, they were respecting all the saintly persons. So this nowadays, you see how the kings are, and how much atrocity they do. So, and they loot everybody, they make themselves so rich, looting everybody. so before uniting for Garbhadan Sanskar, actually it is very important that we become completely Krishna conscious. If Krishna is not in our mind, if we just want to enjoy, child will not be good. That thing we have to know properly. So Sri Prabhupada actually promoted Garbhadan Sanskar because this is the first Sanskar in the child's life. So that way, the Grihastha couple actually think about Krishna on particular day and keep thinking, till the conception is done. So actually it needs a lot of spiritual perception, like chanting, eating nice prasadam, like that, and focusing on devotional consciousness. That's very important. And we have to choose auspicious timing also. So we have to see what time is good for the conception. And we have to follow this spiritual guideline, that how we become pure. Our mind becomes pure at that time. So we should be pure from our mind, body, and then the conception itself will be very pious progeny, and we will have the Krishna conscious child born. So actually we have to have the spiritual foundation, we have to plan our consciousness, and we have to follow the proper rituals and practice, what is described in the Shastras. So after doing all this, what is the purpose of that? So we can get an intelligent child who is pious and he's noble. So it will be very good for his beginning to his pure existence as a child, and he will be grown up very nice adult, and then whole society will be very happy. So husband and wife has to do rigorous practice for that, like chanting, reading, everything. But if they are devotees, it's not hard. It will automatically come. And I have seen myself, actually, some devotees, who united in their life only for the procreation, not otherwise, not for any fun or anything. I know few devotees like that. And so their children are so good. And so this is very important for all of us, that we actually follow these rules and regulations properly to get the proper children. So I will not read because we already read these. So I will read only the 14th and 15th verse, because there is only less time left now. So we will go through that. Text number 14th in the purport. Sri Prabhupada writing, the entire universe is moving under the three modes of material nature. So as soon as we are born in this material world, what happens? These modes starts affecting us. The living entities who are in goodness are called the pious species. So there is those people, who are in mode of goodness. So there's a species, they are pious people. And there are pious lands also, because some lands are
Unknown caller.
Impious actually. So lane is also impious, like a lane near the prostitution area where the prostitution goes on, or shops of alcohol, or there is meat is sold. Those are all inauspicious places. So they are not pious places. Similarly, there are pious trees and impious trees also, like a word tree, that's pious. But there are unpious trees also, which has all the poisonous leaves. If you touch, you can get allergy in the body, poison oaks, poison like that. So these things are there. So there are pious. There are some trees, with horns, as soon as you walk there, you can get pricked by that. So it is similar with the planet also. So there are some planets which are pious planets, some are impious planets. So Saturn and Mars are considered impious. But we see in all omens that those, when the bad time came, when the demons were born, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, at that time, those impious stars were shining very brightly. So that's a bad sign, actually. Like Prabhupada is writing here that the pious planets shine very brightly. Normally, the pious planets, they shine nicely. But now we are seeing the impious, like Saturn and Mars, Shani and Mangal, they are shining very brightly. That means it's not a good sign. It's a bad sign. A bad time is going to come if it happens. So that's what Prabhupada is writing here in the last verse. So Prabhupada is writing, the laws of nature are so stringent that it is impossible for living entity to surpass their enforcement. So the laws of nature, they very hard to understand, but living entity actually cannot surpass until unless they take shelter of Lord Krishna. It is also explained that only those who are fully surrendered to Krishna consciousness can be saved. So from the description of Bhagavatam, we can actually know that why people were so much fearful, which we read here. So that fear, I will talk a little bit about fear, little more. There is a very nice article I read, and I will see if I can speak few words about that. That word is very fearful about everything. Children are fearful because their expectation to their parents, that parents will fulfill my desire or not. So they are fearful of that. So what is the fear actually? If we see the definition of fear, it is defined as unpleasant sensation caused by the nearness to some uncomfortable situation or the pain. So that is the definition of fear. So when we are under some certain circumstances, or we feel comfortable, or we go through the uncomfortable situation, then we get fear. So fear has a lot of effects on our body also, on our mind also, on our thoughts also. So there are physical effects also, like when we are scared of something, our heart starts palpitating, blood pressure goes up, our respiratory rate goes up also. So these things happens, and some glands in the body, different parts of the body also swells sometime. And so this negative effect on body as a whole. And sometimes if the child is very much afraid or scared, or he's in the fear, then what happens is he may start hating his father, hating his mother. Sometimes parent try to discipline the child. We have seen that child is not behaving good. Sometimes people take him to the shopping mall, and they say, I want this, and parents say, we already have that, we don't need. But child will put it in the cart, and then if you take it out, he will start crying, he will roll over on the floor, and he will make a big show there in the mall. And then when parents bring that child home, they will beat him up. Then what happens? Then child hates his mother, child hates his father, that they don't care about me. So that thing happens. So social relationship also, that if I don't listen to my friend, he will hate me, like that. So these fears are always there. In work culture also, if we are fearful of work pressure, and sometimes we don't do our work, so we are afraid that my boss will throw me out from work. So, and there are emotional effects also. There are so many bad thoughts comes in our mind, we cannot sleep properly. So it gives a lot of problem to our mind. It keep thinking about different negative thoughts. And once there is negativity in us, everything really spoils. So we have to worry about these things, not too much. If we can take Krishna consciousness, then our worry will be going away. So in this shloka, we are reading here that everybody on the earth planet and upper planetary system also, everybody was so fearful. So we have to make sure that we are not worried, and that thing can happen only if we are Krishna conscious. So we have to follow how our fear can go. So there are some solutions actually given here, that like first thing is to chanting the name of Lord Krishna. If we chant, then we will not be fearful, because we will know that Krishna will protect me in any condition, whatever comes in front of me. So, and we know that we can get away from the cycle of birth and death, because we think sometime that I will die and then I will get birth again, and I do not know what kind of birth I'm getting next life. So, but if we are devotee and practicing our devotional service very seriously, then we know that we are going to Krishna, of course, And so chanting seriously is most important thing in devotee's life. So if you can chant properly, so for chanting, actually, we all have discussion many times, but most important thing is while chanting, our consciousness should be pure. Because sometimes we chant mechanically, we are chanting every word distinctly fine, but then our consciousness is somewhere else. So our consciousness should be pure. And we should want that I really want to do proper chanting. That's very important to think, that otherwise, we are making fool to ourselves. Whom we are making fool? We are not making fool to Lord Krishna. He cannot be fooled from a rascal like me. So we cannot do that. We have to chant properly. And so it is so powerful. Chanting is so powerful. Krishna is sitting in our heart, and here he's listening. So he will definitely bless us, that we don't get afraid of anything, nothing bad happen to our life, and we will ultimately go to him. Second thing is hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. So all our acharyas tells us that we have to hear Sri Prabhupada's classes and Srimad Bhagavatam, read Bhagavatam also. Prabhupada's class we should hear at least half an hour every single day. All of us actually should make promise to ourselves that I will read Sri Prabhupada are here, Sri Prabhupada's class, or at least half an hour every single day. If every devotee can do that, that will create a wonder in our whole society. So that thing is very important to hear and read Prabhupada books. And last thing is, not last, but number 3 is meditating on Krishna. We should always meditate. We are not chanting many times. We finish our chanting in the morning, but then whole day we should meditate on Krishna. So then definitely we can be out of any kind of fear, because then Krishna is always with us. And the 4th thing we should do is the service to the devotees. That's the most important thing. Out of these all 4 services, actually, if we just serve the devotees, Because once we serve devotees, they will definitely tell us that you chant seriously, you read Prabhupada's book, you hear the classes, you read Bhagavatam. So these things will come. So most important is actually service to the devotees. So we have to serve them properly, and we have to be living in association with them. As much as we can get chance to associate with devotees, we should. And that way, we can be in Krishna consciousness and perfect our life. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. If somebody has any question, comments, we can discuss. There is still 4 minutes left. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you very much for the nice class. And lot of things we have to think. But modern society, I don't think they will do. That's why Kali Yuga is coming back.
Yeah, we are in Kali Yuga, so
Yeah, we are in Kali Yuga. A lot of things people won't follow, but that's how.
well, it's all the blessings of Srila Prabhupada, his mercy is flowing now. He predicted 10,000 years will be very good. Next, so let us just see what happens. Society can change, can be changed actually with Krishna consciousness. So just the ISKCON is trying hard actually. See, I travel and to different temples, and I see how the people are joining more and more in the temple, and more and more people are participating in all the activities in our temple in Philadelphia. Also, we see so many more people are coming nowadays. Since Corona, more people are joining. They are thinking, that Krishna saved them. So let us at least go to Krishna and thank him. So at least they are coming. So slowly, by hearing the kirtan and by eating prasadam, taking prasadam, slowly, people can get purified and practice Krishna consciousness.
I'm thinking some of these purports, they say it is too many clouds, too much cold. We can already experiencing all that.
Yeah. So
Too much cold.
that's why bedtime is coming.
Mm.
Some areas, Prabhupada is writing some areas like they have rain all the time, and
That's why we're
No, so-
experiencing everything.
right.
So that is, I don't know when he wrote that book, but that's what I was thinking. But
Uh,
he wrote all these things. So that's really something here, Prabhupada. Anyway, things are changing. Let us see what happens.
let us hope for good.
Yeah.
See what-
I used to tell my husband, "No, we won't be there." But he used to say, "We will be born again. Still, we have time. We'll be born again, so be careful."
It
That's
doesn't
why-
matter actually if we are born again or not. It matters, we are in touch with Krishna all the time.
Yeah, that if we
Whatever
do that,
consciousness we
might.
are, that's what it is. So devotee should not worry about whether I will go to Golok Vrindavan or not. As long as they are practicing devotional service properly, they should be happy.
Thank you very much for nice class.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Kaivalya Prabhu. I really appreciate your detailed explanation of the Govardhan Samskar and why it's so important. And this is information, the spiritual science of conception. And we have to know these things um, for, our generation and for future generations to be able to produce, or not produce, but to bring forth Krishna conscious children into this world. To attract, their souls to come. And what puzzles me a little bit is that, Diti and Kashyapa Muni were so pious people, even though they conceived at the wrong time, so many, and they brought forth such, horrible demons, even though we know the backstory behind it, that they were giant Vijay. But people here are so people these days, and since then, there's such ignorance, and they're conceiving at any time. They're not even giving any thought to whatsoever. And we can see the population, as you mentioned, are not. It's not a very intelligent population. It's not a very spiritual population, but they're not as bad at demons as Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. Uh, anyway, I'm just it's all we know. It's all part of the Lord's arrangement. But people of this day are so much worse than they were back then in their conception.
Yeah, people are becoming more and more demoniac because conception was not good. If they were thinking about Krishna at that time of conception, the parents, then children will be good, But we are all getting bad population, and that's why this whole society is like that. Anyone else has any comments?
It made me think of Bhaktivinoda Thakur when he he prayed for a ray of Vishnu, a son that would come and help deliver the world and continue. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, was born, and we can bring these powerful souls into this world. This could help change. This could help bring about, significant change, as Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur did.
Yeah, if the parents are really pious, religious, and they are pure devotees, then child will be like that, because they know how to conceive the child and what should be done. So, but how many parents, follow the Garbhadhan Sanskar? That's to see actually, that they have to follow this strictly. Then child definitely will be great soul. Animals are even more better, see, their sensations are so good, like we can see on the airports, dogs are there, they can smell so good, in the suitcase, if there is some prohibited item, like drugs or some eatable, which are prohibited, then immediately he will stop at that suitcase, and the police will say, open. So that happens, dogs. Similarly, like at the time of tsunami, what happens? All the animals didn't know that tsunami is coming, but all the human beings never knew that tsunami is coming. But animals knew, and they actually broke their rope, and went away in the mountains, on some height, and that human beings were sleeping, and see what happened, So animals sometimes has much more. Their senses are so much developed, they know what to do. And so sometimes we think, the animals say God has given them special power, like that. So
I think tomorrow is Ekadasi.
yes, tomorrow is Ekadashi, sure.
Yeah.
Actually, Ekadashi is today, but we are following it tomorrow. We are observing it tomorrow.
Okay.
The calendar says today is Ekadashi, but it's not a good day to follow today. That's why it says we'll follow tomorrow.
I was looking at this calendar.
Anyway, so it's 5 minutes above 9, so we will stop it.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हरे
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, प्रभुपाद की जय।
जय। Thank you, Prabhu.